Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the end of the month subscriber Q&A and people on YouTube as well. This is the time at the end of the month where I take a little bit of time out of the chat, or out of the stream even, turn the chat into subscriber mode, and answer the questions that are sent in. I'm a wee bit rusty, as you can tell. We haven't done this in quite some time. And if there are not enough questions from the subscribers, then I'll open it up for everybody, and just everybody can pile on, send in their questions, and do the thing. Do the thing? Do the thing. So chat room, are there even any questions? It's funny actually that we haven't done this in quite some time. I'm trying to remember why, but I think it's more because of the whole busy schedule that I had with the Legion videos. Or maybe it was because we didn't actually have any questions anymore. Look at that. Nobody gives a fuck about lore anymore. I said fucker YouTube. Oh no, I must watch my profanity. A little private question, but I have to ask. Do you have a girlfriend? I got many girlfriends. Like all of them. I'm so alone. Nobody will love me. Try to tell them stories every day and they're like, I don't care. I'm like, why won't you love me? And then my brother showed up and everybody liked my brother because he had like massive antlers on his head. And everybody thought that antlers were way cooler than demon horns. And I was like, well, demon horns are cool too. But nobody believed me. And then she went off with him and I ended up in prison for a long, long time. And that was about it. That was the extent of my relationship. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad. He's rusty, I'm drunk, Lamau. What is my favorite race in World of Warcraft? To play is the humans. I like the ratios. I like the way that their starting area is very nicely connected. Makes it easier to level up and whatnot. But overall lore-wise, I don't really have a favorite. Like the Forsaken have a cool story arc. Humans have a pretty decent story arc. Orcs have a cool story arc. It all comes down to individual storylines and all that. And all of them kind of offer something, right? So we don't really have a favorite in that regard. He's mine. He's mine. And mine. I still love you, Noble. Aww. Are Flamewalkers major domes from Mortal Core Nagas, or if not, where did they come from? They're not Nagas. They fall under the Fire Elemental division. Whereas these elementals evolved into different beings. And these Flamewalkers also are part of the Fire Kingdom. They are not Nagas. However, that mistake has been made many, many times before. People are like, why are the Nagas helping Ragnaros? It's like, not Nagas, no. Come at me, Kev. We shall fight for him. Wow. Wow. Any class race combos that aren't in the game, but that you would want? I would love a Dragonsworn class race combo. As in, half mortal, half dragon, working together with the dragon aspects, each color representing a different... Why is that train slowing down? Does that normally happen? I guess so. Dragonsworn is what I would like. That's not in the game right now. But if you're talking about the current class race combos, gnome everything. Just give me gnomes. I'll take everything in gnome. But Redix, a serious answer to your question, do I have a girlfriend? Nope, I'm still single, and I'm quite happy with the single life. That's all I want to say about that. Where are we going? I don't think this is the way, though. Were we supposed to go left there? Aren't we supposed to go in there? No? Raid? No? Aren't we supposed to go in here? I'm pretty fucking sure we're supposed to go in here, though. Yeah, I knew we were supposed to go in here. So yeah, I don't think the subscribers have that many questions. So let me fix that. And let's open it up for everybody. Because this is not going anywhere. Hi, everybody! How are you doing, chat room? Everybody, are you still there? If you could change it, would you make it that the aspects were still a thing? Yeah. I think that the ending of the Cataclysm was absolute bullshit. The whole they have fulfilled their destiny and whatnot makes zero sense. So I would love to see more aspects. But apparently that's part of a story arc that they wanted to close off and no longer deal with. So that's their call to make, right? You let them loose! Oh no! So how many experience before the game ends with Enduin fulfilling a destiny? As many as it takes for WoW to no longer make them insane amounts of money. I think I saw an article where it said that WoW was one of the most video games that has earned the most money, I think. And it's just still very profitable. So as long as Blizzard has the will to keep making expansions, they will. And as long as it makes the money, of course, because they are a business after all. And there's plenty of storyline to go with. They can take the story in so many directions. A lot of people have wondered, like, will we ever see an RTS again? To which people say, like, they have StarCraft 2, so they won't focus on a Warcraft 4. I wouldn't mind seeing a Warcraft 4, to be honest. I think that the way an RTS allows the story to be told, especially when you go up to these big bad guys like Sargeras. Can you imagine pitching your armies against the might of the Legion instead of doing it in small groups within the WoW setting? I would love to see that. Why did I name myself Noble? A mate of mine gave me that nickname. And stuck ever since. With Vol'jin gone, do you think we will see more with the Darkspear and other races? I think that the Horde deserves some love. They've definitely been taking a beating for quite some time now. But will we see more with the races? Like, we gotta keep in mind, how long did it take for them to get a new Orcish leader? Right? It took a long time to replace Garrosh the Warchief. It took an expansion, I think. Yeah, Warlords. Like the entirety of Warlords. No! What am I talking about? Not Garrosh. Not as the Warchief, but the Orcish racial leader. They didn't have an Orcish racial leader for the entirety of Warlords. So who knows how long it's going to take for the Trolls to get a new racial leader again. I think the subs got a little nervous. Can you foresee the day that this game ends? Yes and no. Like, it's hard to imagine for WoW to no longer be there. But at the same time, everything has to end someday, right? And I don't mind it either way. I don't mind WoW going on for as long as it wants. And I don't mind WoW ending, to be honest. Because it opens up the possibility for more. Despite WoW ending, the Warcraft universe will always be there. It has been there before WoW and it will be there after WoW. So I don't see the story ending with the game. But WoW itself, who knows? Who knows? 2020 the game is over, yeah? What would you say is likely to be the new class, if there is one? Or what would you like to add as a class? I would add Dragonsworn, which are half mortal, half dragons. Who embody the powers of the dragons. Like red ones are all about healing. Green ones are all about poisoning. Blue ones are all about spellcasting. Black ones are all about tanking and melee. Bronze ones are time magic. Oh, time magic would be so sweet. Stuff like that. I would love to see that. But more realistically speaking, a lot of people have been mentioning like mechaniers in mech tanks. Imagine goblin gnomes fighting in their mech tanks. I would love to see that as well. That is a race, not a class. That is also a class. Like they embody the dragon. What expansion is my favorite lore-wise? Yeah, I still love Mr. Pandaria. But it's hard to say lore-wise, because the stories that are told... Like, in classic lore was all over the place. Burning Crusade did Illidan no justice. Wrath of the Lich King was just gorgeous. Cataclysm was eh. Mr. Pandaria, I loved the way that the story was told, and I loved the story that they were telling. Even though where they took Garrosh was a little bit eh. Then Waters of Draenor had a good start, just a very weak ending. And now Legion. And I feel with Legion that there is a cool story to be told. But they are cutting it up in such a way that the waiting for the next part of the story is too long. As in... I should also mention this at the start, by the way. I've got the spoiler tag up in the Twitch title. That means I'm open for questions about like the ending of Nighthold or speculation about the future patches and whatnot. If you don't want any spoilers, then by now you should end the Q&A, just so you know. Now, when you look at the Nighthold storyline, there was a lot of build-up and a lot of action going on over several months. And then when you get to the Nighthold raid itself, it's definitely cool, but it left me with a feeling of, is that it? And perhaps that's because I just expected more in my mind. Or perhaps that's because the build-up to it and the waiting for it just required a better payoff. And to just have those people stand there, oogle at him, and be like, oh, he's back, but he doesn't really do anything. That felt meh to me. It could have been a lot better. And I feel that breaking it up is a major problem with it. Imagine if it just flowed in one single go. I think then the story would be a lot better. But still, the story that is being told, the Legion make a return like that, Illidan, of course, being there, the whole rebellion and the different zones. I definitely think that Legion is telling a very good story. Could potentially become one of my favorites once we get to the end, but that is only possible to decide once we actually get to the end, right? It's a little bit too soon to tell. Which is also why articles that annoy me are like articles like Legion, best expansion ever. Not even a question mark, just best expansion ever. I'm like, well, we didn't even do everything yet. How can you say? How can you know? Perhaps Legion is gonna turn out to be another Warlords, where halfway through we get nothing anymore. Perhaps then it just sucks again. But nope, gotta put up the clickbait title. Legion, best expansion ever. Go buy it now, go buy it now. Even though so far Legion has been definitely delivering. The amount of content that they are putting in the patches, the amount of time between the patches is freaking amazing. Maybe even a little bit too fast, but still freaking amazing. And I definitely can hope they can keep it up. Did you feel good when you saw Gul'dan die? Oh, that moment was so good. It almost felt a little bit sad that the moment was spoiled, because the cinematic itself was available a couple of months ago. It was a little bit sad that the moment was already spoiled, but still the moment and the cinematic is so cool. So cool. Do you think we'll be going with Velen and the Space Goats? Maybe. There's also a connection that they build up in the Illidan novel. Illidan made a connection to Argus from within the Black Temple. That could definitely be used as well. Perhaps different classes are going to find their own way there. Imagine Paladin and Priest joining together on the Exodar, whereas Demon Hunters and perhaps Warlocks can use the Black Temple, and we each find our own different ways to Argus. That could be a thing. But time will tell. And was I taken aback when Blizzard killed off Vol'jin? Yeah. I was actually extremely disappointed about that. They made him the new Warchief. Then with Warlords, he didn't really do much. And he never got the chance to shine. It's like you made him a Warchief, but for no reason. It's nice to have a troll Warchief, but then he doesn't do anything. It's like, what's the point? What the hell? So that definitely disappointed me. Make Sylvanas Warchief? I like Sylvanas as a Warchief. I think that there's definitely potential there as a character. Still more potential than what they're using right now. But killing off Vol'jin was just too soon. Too soon, man! Who is the new leader of the Green Dragonflight? Don't believe they have a new leader. And when it comes to new leaders, the only one that ever became a new aspect was Caligos. And that was purely because he was needed for the whole Out of Twilight Dragon Soul bit. Like the Black Dragonflight did not get an official new aspect, even though Raffion is running around, but he's not the aspect in the leader. So I don't think the green ones will actually see a new one. It seems like they want to step away from the Dragon arc in the lore. Is a patch 7.2 going to Argus? No. 7.2 is going to be a continuation on the Order Halls. It is going to be a continuation on Artifacts. And it's going to be Tomb of Sargeras, where we're going to use those Titan Keystones that we've been collecting to seal off the rift. And according to the whispers of Il'gynoth, that is actually going to bring about the... Or we speculate, I should say, bring about the return of the old gods. Which could definitely lead to some story, some awesome storytelling. But 7.2 is going to be out of Tomb of Sargeras, yeah. It would probably be Sarah's daughter, yeah? Maybe. I don't think they actually have. Like I said, I don't think they have a new leader in that regard. And Someone Pro, thank you very much for the 6 months, matey. 2 times I've stopped on the 5 months, but today is not the day. Finally at 6. Yes. Do you think that the cure from the Nightfallen tree could eventually cure all elves of their addiction with our cure? Any future plots with the tree and the elves, or are we done working with the Nightfallen after the defeat of Gul'dan? impossible to predict the future, but Blizzard has a tendency to build something up, use it, and then never use it again. And that could definitely fall on the Nightborne and Nightfallen. It seems what they're going with is similar to the Blood Elf story arc, as in, we are going to let this power source die. But different to the Nightborne is, or different to the Blood Elves, is that they actually have the tree that can sustain them. It's going to take time to give out the fruit to every single citizen, but perhaps they can find some way to make more trees or something. Compared to the Blood Elves, at least they have a source that can fill them later on. And the Nightwell was not going to dissipate instantly. Oh, cool, I actually got an achievement. It's going to take some time for that to actually happen. Why don't we ask the people from Warlords for help, though? They said we could always call on them. Seems we need all the help we can get, no? Well, to be fair, you're all set. If you need us, we will be right here. Which is exactly what they're doing. And again, that falls to the curse of building something up and then never using it again. And of course, it also falls down to if you're telling a story, then you can only give so many people their moment to shine, right? And to bring about the entire cast of Warlords of Draenor back into the Legion story arc, with already so much going on in Legion. Yeah, despite what they said, it would make for good storytelling. You've been noticed, Alas. And you need some better life goals, matey. Just saying. We better cure Runas. Runas ashamed? Didn't we kill him? Is Falstad? Isn't he dead? What? I think Blizzard also wants to leave Warlords behind. Could definitely be a thing. How did Vol'jin die? I don't remember that happening. Vol'jin was stabbed by a demon. And then the poison did the rest. And then he passed over leadership to Sylvanas. Oh, he withered! Oh yeah, but once you wither, there's no coming back, though. Once you're withered, you're done. You're done with. What do you think would have happened if Arthas, instead of killing everyone in Stratholme, tried to cleanse them, and instead of hunting Mal'Ganis, stayed in Lordaeron? Considering that there is no cure for undeath, as far as I know, trying to cleanse them is an unrealistic idea. So instead what happens is you put the city in quarantine. Putting those that have been infected together with those that have not been infected. So basically you end up with a ghoul feasting party until everybody in the city is dead. And turned into your enemy. He would not venture forth into Northrend to hunt down Mal'Ganis. Therefore, Mal'Ganis would need some sort of other way to be taken care of. There are a lot of factors in play, because Sylvanas would not be the Banshee. So therefore, do you have the High Elf support? Well, at the same time, the High Elves were like, haha, let the humans deal with their own plague situation, we don't really care. Kel'Thuzad would not have been resurrected. Dalaran would still be standing. But would the Lich King find a different pawn to use, or use that pawn as Arthas? There's so many factors that you need to consider in this. But at the end of the day, if the Caverns of Time has showed us anything, it's that Arthas had to become the Lich King. It was a set point in time that had to happen. And you can speculate on what the reason might be. It could be because without Arthas there would be no Lich King, and there would be no reason for us to travel to Northrend to stop Yogg-Saron. That could be a reason. But the Infinite Dragonflight tried to mess that moment up. They tried to prevent Arthas from becoming the Lich King, meaning that him becoming the Lich King was an important part in the overall timeline, right? But when it comes down to all the little factors, I would have to sit down and make notes and figure out like, oh yeah, that wouldn't happen, that would change. I think it's a little bit too much to consider it all. What do you think about Ebonhorn and Rephion? It's interesting that the characters that actually don't have a role are standing out so much more. Like, where is Rephion? Where is Jaina? Where is Bane? What happened with those people? Why are they not here? Rephion was the one who saw the Legion coming. What the hell? I'm not entirely sure why they made the change in the storyline. Maybe something with timelines, but I'm not entirely sure. I would have loved to see him in the story arc, but it never happened. So where is he? You think caverns became invalid after Warlords? Because we have an alternate reality with time travel, you mean? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. What do you think the new Lich King has planned? Ooh, hard to say. Right now, it seems like he's helping out the Death Knights, getting their weapons and fighting against the Legion. Because at the end of the day, it was Gul'dan and the Legion that was responsible for the creation of the Lich King in the first place. And he seems more than happy to take his vengeance upon that. Besides that, what might the future bring? There are definitely some cool things that they could do with the Lich King. He is giving orders to Death Knights without the Death Lord actually knowing. Such an edgy name, Death Lord. But he's working together with Death Knights without the Death Lord actually knowing. So he's working behind their backs and giving out orders. There is the spirit of Arthas that tells you, like, even though you think you are free, you are still doing his bidding, right? So who knows, in the future perhaps he can turn around and be like, okay, Death Knights of the Ebonhold, you are mine now. Or thank you for creating all these little Death Knights, they are mine now, go F yourself. They could take it in a lot of story, but who knows, maybe he will be Bolvar still and be like, I am now protecting this world, don't you worry, we got this. If we could play a dragon spawn, what type would you play? Bronze, green, red, blue, or black? Or maybe chromatic? Green has always been part of my favorites because they can give people nightmares. But bronze is also cool because you can turn back time on people. But I think I'll still go with green. Yeah, and then just chill with your Sarah in the dream. They just can't scope with all the characters at once. Weak imagination. Call 1-800-BLISS-HELP. Where is Raffion? Who knows? He was part of the High Mountain questing and now it just disappeared. What do you think will happen after Gul'dan, Death, and Illidan's return? We are first going to take the battle to the Tomb of Sargeras. We are going to try to seal that gateway. We are very similar to Timeless Isle, apparently. We're going to build up, or we're going to have the Order Halls. I was going to say Garrison, but we're going to have the Order Halls working together with each other and kick the crap out of the Legion, right? And we're going to fight our way into the tomb, where once upon a time we got our asses kicked. Now we are the ones who are going to bring the power. We're also going to fight off Legion invasions across the Broken Isles. Until the tomb opens up, we're going to make our way in. We're going to face everything that they have in there. And then, who knows? Apparently, Gul'dan is one of the bosses. But are we just going to fight half of Gul'dan again? Are we going to push him down the portal? Is it going to be fully powered Gul'dan? Is going to seal that rift actually going to awaken the old gods, like the Whispers predicts? What exactly is going to happen there? Very hard to say. And from that, as they said at BlizzCon, we're going to take the battle to Argus, which has been turned into the main base of operation for the Legion. Did I remember that right? Akendun, Azakiel, overview. Stronghold of the Burning Legion. So yeah, Argus, Stronghold of the Burning Legion. Gonna take the fight there. And who knows how that's all gonna go down. Who do you think we'll encounter in the Tomb of Sargeras? The bosses have already been data mined, have they not? Oh, really? Zilla Knight. Alright. Didn't know that one yet. Cool. How cool is the Avatar Sargeras model? So freaking cool. That's one of my favorite encounters that I'm looking forward to, yeah. They have Gul'dan full model out, so I think it's kill Gul'dan. Which is interesting, because then you gotta wonder, like, what boss is left behind to actually fight on Argus? Like, if we kill Gul'dan, and we're gonna go assume that Archimonde is truly dead and gone, because we killed him in the Twisted Nether, even though he came back to Draenor, sent Gul'dan to our reality. Are we then going to prevent Gul'dan from being reformed? Or what else does the Legion still have to offer? Once we kill one of its major dudes, right? Who do you think is going to be the final boss of Legion? Very hard to say. My personal vision of it is not a victory. More of a... Do you remember how we ran away from the Lich King? In Wrath of the Lich King, where in the dungeon we have like this each time a wall came up and you had to run from the Lich King because it was just way too powerful. I would like a situation similar to that, where we have to run from Argus because Sargeras is simply too powerful until we get up to the point of no return. He's about to get us. And then Illidan, possibly with Maiev, but Illidan at least sacrificed himself to buy us another day. To buy us another future. To regain our strength and come back at that. Because I think bringing back Illidan and actually have him around in the story arc just feels odd to me. I don't care what the Naru says, he wasn't a good guy. I don't care. He was Illidan, the one who didn't mind to do what needed to be done in order to get things done. But it doesn't make those things right? Either that, Illidan sacrificing himself, or using the planet of Azeroth somehow. The Titan spirit that's inside. Maybe use that to merge together with Sargeras and cleanse him back to the good side. Or maybe use our ferocity to show Sargeras that there is more to Azeroth. A planet infected with the old gods. The very thing that he is fearing. The very thing that he never wanted to see happen. That there is more to Azeroth than just corruption. And that from such a wicked controlled planet, something good and something powerful can actually come. That could be something. But we shall see. In the meantime, Arua with the 60 months in a row. Thank you so very, very much. Does it make me a huge nerd that I've chosen to use Night Song as a song for a college project? Yes, but you embrace it. You embrace it! If the Titan inside Azeroth wakes up, shouldn't the planet go boom? Kinda depends on how the whole waking up thing works. Like, does the Titan itself become the planet? Is that going to be our vessel into the Great Dark Beyond? Or is it just going to slide out of it like an egg and just leave a shell behind? Or is the spirit already corrupted by the old gods? There are many things that many directions they could take the story in right now. Why is Odin questioned more? He's basically evil and everyone just seems to ignore the shit that he's done. There seems to be a bit of a disconnect between the story that's built up in the Chronicles and what actually happens in-game. It's a bit weird, I have to admit. It's a bit odd. How about a Jaina as a host for Sargeras, like Leia as host of Diablo in Diablo 3? I'm shaking my head, but deep down I know that could definitely be a thing. Time will tell, man. Time will tell. Remember, Illidan made a pact with Kil'jaeden when Gul'dan failed. Yet, again, Kil'jaeden sent Illidan to kill Gul'dan for kicks. Don't think that that's how it happened, though, Dragman. No. Because this time Gul'dan did everything that Kil'jaeden wanted. It is true that Illidan recruited Kil'jaeden in the past to take care of Ner'zhul. But that was because Ner'zhul was out of control. Gul'dan was doing everything that Kil'jaeden wanted of him. Why didn't the Bronze Dragonflight help us, or what was the Draenor? That again comes down to who are you going to give the spotlight to? And you just can't give everybody the spotlight. Is there somewhere we can get this song mixed? I think if you type in !playlist, it should pop up in the chat. How do you feel about Blizzard worked the Nightborne into the story? Loved it. Despite it being a lot similar to the Blood Elf story arc, as in a fountain of power, losing yourself in it, transformation, losing the well itself. There's a lot of similarities to the Blood Elf story arc. But the way that they build up this new race and the cinematic and build up the story of the city and all that, I thought it was quite nice. Again, we fall down to the story being broken up and they could have done more with it. I still think that there could have been way more interaction between Tyrande, Liadrin, Verissa, and Elisande. No, not Elisande, Phalistra. What we got was a Tyrande who was high and mighty, like, look at these Nightborne, they're on their well, ew, what a noobs. So they could have done so much more with it, but yeah. They didn't, so what can you do? Where do you think Kel'Thuzad's urn is? No idea. It is where we'll find it whenever Kel'Thuzad needs to make a return. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much, Zilla Knight. Interesting that you're not purged, by the way. Nightbolt is supposed to snipe you, or did somebody give you permission? Do you think that it is possible that the Tar knew all along that there is a female Titan spirit which they call the Earth Mother and they just forgot who the Earth Mother is because they didn't write about their history? Maybe. But that would be the young Gul'dan, because the young Gul were like the early Tauren, not the early Titans, early Tauren. I have a heart on my chest. What is this? Someone likes me. Someone hit me with a love ray. I am gorgeous. You love me. You really, really love me. Have I ever tried role-playing? Nothing seriously. It's not really for me, mate. I've done it a couple of times on stream just for funsies, but nothing with an actual RP character now. What is your favorite boss from the Nighthold? Ooh, the robot made me laugh. Gul'dan was definitely a treat. I really, really, really enjoyed the Gul'dan fight. Who else did we have in there? Oh, yeah, how can I forget, man? No, not you. Star Augur Atreus. Oh my god. The models. Oh, the sky boxes that they used during this fight. Mwah, were beautiful. And I really enjoyed the time that they used. The time mechanic in the fights. I thought it was quite interesting. But yeah, I love Gul'dan visually wise. Like the effects that they added and the whole what he did during the fight was really, really cool. I love the sky boxes that opened up. And the robot made me laugh. The robot was fun. Your paragraph got ignored. Womp womp. Womp womp. What do you think on the other side of Azeroth? I'm hoping something like Kul'Tiras. I'm hoping something like N'Zoth, Naga, Telebim. Different islands. Even though Telebim and Kul'Tiras should technically be next to the areas that we already know. But yeah. Islands. Oh my god. Get my own pirate ship with my guild that we can build up. And then we can shoot other people with our pirate ship. I want to see more of Mr. and Mrs. Manastorm, right? Even though they haven't done much with it, Zalatov had some interesting things to mention about the Manastorms. About them being useful pawns and whatnot. What do you think the planets were called in the fight with Star Augur Estrius in the Nighthold? I don't think they necessarily have a name. I think the idea of what they wanted to show in that battle was... I think the first one was Azeroth, or like the 2 moons of Azeroth. I don't even recall at this point. And then the second one that opens up is the Burning Legion, the threat that we're facing right now. And he's like, look, do you think you can stand against might such as this? This is the Legion. Look what they did to this planet. So we kicked the crap out of him a little bit more. And he's like, okay, you think you're powerful enough to take on the Legion? Then look at what I saw here. And the pink one is a planet taken over by the Void creatures. And he's like, you think the Burning Legion is the bee's knees? You think they are the mightiest and just what you're going to face? Hell no. There is way more out there that you're not even aware of. And I think that's what they wanted to show with those skyboxes. And if we go by the idea that they like to put in hints in raids, as in, this is what's going to happen in the next expansion, then that could definitely be a hint for the next expansion taking us into the Great Dark Beyond, visiting these planets, visiting new cultures, and imagine not so much different zones, but entire planets that we can visit and quest on and interact with and ally ourselves with. Could be cool. La 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 rapam. Where is Kul'Tiras supposed to be exactly? Somebody says on Wowhead the Kul'Tiras started drifting away after the Cataclysm. Isn't that the Isle of Zandalar though that started to drift away? Or did they also say Kul'Tiras? I'm not entirely certain. Is there a possibility that we'll see other Titans in future patches? Maybe. But the way that I got the story was that the Pantheon was looking for more of their kinds. But they're also described as the leaders of the Titans, so you imagine that there are more out there, right? So maybe. If we're going to the new planet, I want a ray gun. Yes, I want to do pew pew laser fights and get my lightsaber. Whoop! Was the Zandalar sinking? Yep. Aren't the Titans dead? Maybe. But I mean, if they want to make more Titans, they can, right? We killed the Pantheon, but are the other ones as well? Are there even other ones? Yum. Oh, while I have you here, by the way, everybody, I want to do a poll in just a moment. I want to ask you which order halls you're most interested in. Just so I know which order halls to focus myself on in the future. Has Sargeras ever faced the Void Lords? Not directly. He encountered a planet infected by the Old Gods. And he picked up a Dreadlord that was basking in the darkness. And he asked him, like, yo, what's up? And then the Dreadlord, like, explained what's gonna happen. And that they were trying to find the Titan Spirit. And if that was ever corrupted, then the world be destroyed. And Sargeras was like, what? We can never let this happen. And then he decided to destroy the universe. Full time. Gonna do it after the Q&A, yeah? But if they have Void Lords, should they have Light Lords as well? That's about the same. What? What? What do you think? What is going to happen if Azeroth, the Titan Spirit inside the planet, wakes up one day? Kinda hard to say right now. It seems like the planet itself is what the Titan becomes. But I don't know if that happens for sure or not. I don't know. Let's make it 45 minutes, shall we? So we got like 8 minutes. Get around, everybody! You can dance if you want to. So chat room, do you have any questions for me? Hit me up. What did Gul'dan see before Illidan killed him? To my eyes, it looked like he saw Illidan himself returning. But I actually want to check out the cinematic again and see if we can spot anything. But I just thought that he was looking at that rift that he created. Like he was planning to bring Sargeras in. And then that failed. And he was like, oh no, I failed. And the rift goes away and Illidan comes back into his body. And then rip. But yeah. Sargeras times Azeroth, yes or no? Yes. If you read the Scepter of Sargeras lore, 100% yes. Any idea how the Titans fell? They were destroyed by Sargeras. Check out the story of the origin of Warcraft or the ordering of the universe. Something like that. What if the Dreadlords are just manipulating Sargeras with these infected Titan Spirit facts and Old Gods have a completely different purpose? Doesn't seem like that though. It seems like that's truly the Old Gods' plans and intention. Yep. Do you think we will get an in-game model of a loon? Maybe. If you look at Zalatov, there's apparently an achievement. If you remember that you could talk to Odin and mess with him about what Loken did to him. The achievement has you slain by Odin and then slain by a loon, I think. So somehow you're going to interact with a loon. I'm curious how that's going to happen. Should be cool. So maybe. Any lore of the contra blocks in Dalaran? The one that fishes? The what now? Don't know what you mean, Bank. Any idea if demons have fathers, sons, grandmothers, and mothers? How do they even appear? They appear out of the madness of the Twisting Nether. A reality where the void and the light bleed together. And from that chaos, demons came to be. Do they have daddies and mommies? I mean, if we look at the Shivara and the Succubi, they know how to get it on. If we look at the relations between the Nuff regime, then it is forbidden for another Nuff regime to kill the other. So kind of like brother leadership. But it doesn't seem like they have families. It doesn't seem like they're baby demons, no. Just a demon is a demon. Who's my favorite old god? Yaxaron. For the potential speculation that goes with the visions in his mind. If Worgen blood makes you immune to necromantic resurrection, how can Worgen decays exist? There was actually a question asked during one of the Ask a Developer. And they explained that the process of being transformed to undead by the Valkyr was apparently different than by the necromancers of the Lich King. Now, it's not an exact quote, but it was somewhere in that direction. The process was different, therefore one made you immune to one process and not the other. Why do the Titan Keepers don't care if the Legion returns? All the Keepers except for him. Because why care if you have mortals that can do your work for you while you get to chill and hang out in Ulduar? Wouldn't you let mortals do it? I mean, it falls down to why isn't the Dragonflight helping? Why isn't that faction helping? Why isn't everything that we have tossed at the Legion? Whereas it also comes down to when you're telling a story, who do you give the spotlight to, right? And you can't give it to everybody. Was Xavier's working for the Old Gods or the Legion? It appears to be both. The Nightmare has its source at the Old Gods, whereas Xavier's was definitely working for the Legion as well. And you could speculate in combination with the Whispers of Il'gynoth that the Old Gods actually want the Legion to get to a certain point where we have to collect the Titan Keystones. And according to the Whispers, those Titan Keystones trying to shut down that gateway will bring about the Old God's return, right? But again, there's only speculation about some vague-ass whispers. So the model for the Avatar Sargeras, is that how actual Sargeras looks like? I thought it would be more fiery. There have been a couple of descriptions of Sargeras, but the model as I've seen it so far is not the actual Sargeras. He is supposed to be with like a fiery beard and very scary and dangerous. Whereas this model looks more like one of the very earliest art that they ever made about the Avatar Sargeras. If the first light bursts Shadow, does that mean even Shadow Priest follow the light? Shadow Priest acknowledged that without light there can't be darkness, or without darkness there can't be light. And they have found a way to the void. Does that mean that they follow the light? No, because the light is the complete opposite of it. But light and darkness are only two sides of the same coin, right? Which is valid within Discipline Priest. So Discipline are in both, and the other two are the opposites of each other. Just because light caused darkness to exist does not mean that the priest follow the light teachings, even though they follow the void. Good night, Jumpy Wizard. Thank you for joining, Eddie. Do you think of more lore about the Deep Sea? I do. I'm gonna make this one my last one. I'm just gonna finish up the list. If Nix's prophecy came true, we got necromancers. Do you think there would be more lore about... Oh. Where did you go? Where did you go? There we go. If Nix's prophecy came true, we got necromancers. Do you think we'll be able to rest Gul'dan with overpowered artifacts? No. I mean, that's speculating off of speculation, right? No. Will Baby Moosey be the next Warchief? Yes. Do you think there will be more lore about the Deep Sea? Yes. Why do Titan Keepers don't care? Oh, we talked about that one. I got a legendary today out of nowhere. Grats! What would you think of the Legion Remnant tip of player faction? What would you think of a Legion Remnant tip of player faction? As in players joining the Legion? Could be cool, but impossible to do, I think. We've seen that one as well. Conjure my ghost lore, please. What? Is the Gul'dan in our class hall the real alternate Gul'dan? It seems to be the real one. Because she has that whole story arc with using the daggers to kill the king. Whereas alternate Gul'dan does not. What are the Yanagas planning now? They are working, as far as we know, with the Old God and Zoth. They tried to get the keystone, which they failed at. And Azara was like, haha, you will rue the day. You will rue the day. So I think their plan is still the same as it's always been, which is take the land from the surface dwellers, right? Dominate the world, bring about N'Zoth, their master and lord and savior, all that good stuff. Right, ladies and gentlemen, 45 minutes. Are we there? We are there. So, ladies and gentlemen of the chat room, thank you so very much for joining me here today for the end of the month subscriber Q&A, which turned out to be just an end of the month Q&A. I could work both ways. So thank you very, very much for the questions. People on YouTube, too as well, thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to join me on stream, link to Twitch is down below in the description. And until next time, guys. See ya!